Finding a way out of the European debt crisis is not only the major topic of the plenaries, it's also the talk in the Congress Centre here and the cocktail parties held right across town. There's a strong representation of European leaders at the summit, and while they muddled through 2011, there's hope that we'll see the decisive action here required for European recovery.
The shrieks and cries, the swish and swirl of winter sports are the normal sounds which echo across these mountains. Now it is the anguished debate on how to tackle the eurozone debt crisis which is resonating round the ski resort. It is the top of the political and business leaders' agenda at this World Economic Forum in Davos. Solutions, growth, belief and the legacy for future generations are in the mix.
We have to have austerity measures. We have to cut back these rocketing budget deficits, because they are not only a problem for this generation, they are a load on the next generation. And we have to do that also by showing to the people that there is light in the tunnel, that there is a hope, that there is a way out. And the biggest wealth Europeans have is this huge market of 500 million potential consumers.
The Great Transformation, Shaping New Models, is the banner text for this year. Perhaps the words of Jean Monnet would be more appropriate. The Frenchman, considered one of the founding fathers of European unity, once predicted, Europe will be forged in crisis and will be the sum of the solutions adopted for those crises.
Some blame part of the Eurozone's woes on globalisation, the interconnectedness of world economies held responsible for the downturn that hit so many nations in turn. Pascal Lamy heads the World Trade Organization. We spoke to him here in Davos. Pascal Lamy, thank you very much for joining us on Euronews.
My pleasure.
The Eurozone crisis is being examined from every angle here. Its problems blamed on a myriad of factors. Your former European Trade Commissioner said this is an area you know well. Is there a clear-cut solution?
I'm not expecting a clear-cut solution soon. And the reason for that is that it's a very complex transformation, moving from the sort of pre-crisis European arrangement to something which is a more political union, where more of national policies in fiscal, budget, economic issues will have to be dealt with at EU level, so that there is a proper balance between solidarity and discipline.
That discipline obviously involves austerity, but when you have austerity, it seems difficult to have growth. How do you foresee austerity and growth working together?
That's the fundamental issue. There has to be a sort of fiscal rigor agenda, but there also has to be an agenda about investing in the future, about making the European economy more productive, more competitive, which has to do with a number of structural reforms in education, innovation, research, deepening the internal market in areas like services. And again, this can only be done at EU level.
Another factor that's being debated then is also a smaller eurozone. A eurozone, for example, without Greece. Do you think that's something that can be envisaged?
I personally believe that if Greece was to leave the eurozone, the problems of Greece would not be easier to solve. I don't believe breaking out the eurozone is a proper solution. On the contrary, I believe that strengthening euro discipline at EU level is the right way out.
Before the summit in Davos, one of the big issues, and it's moving so quickly now, were rating agencies, and they downgraded several European countries. How credible are the rating agencies, in your opinion? Because they have made some colossal mistakes in the past.
You're absolutely correct. These rating agencies are sort of human organizations, and human organizations sometimes make mistakes. So the question is whether this should be only market-driven, or whether there could or should be a sort of public system that would be better at avoiding possible conflicts of interest. I personally find it would make sense, but it will be costly. And of course, the big question is, are European taxpayers ready to fund such an organization.
Professor Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, has said that capitalism, as we know it, is no longer relevant. Is that a fair assessment?
We know that global market capitalism needs more international regulations. And for that, we need a higher level of international cooperation, which unfortunately in present times is in short supply. The big problem we have for the moment is that there is not much left in national leaders' pockets. Their political authority has been eroded by the crisis everywhere. We need more political energy on the international scene so that in trade, in currencies, in climate change, in social issues, there is more to be done cooperatively rather than a sort of go it alone, and that's, in my view, the most urgent priority.
Pascal Lamy, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
The people around me here are not even the 1% of the global rich and influential. At Davos, it's a very select club of that 1%. And when the global elite are gathered, the Occupy movement is never far away.
Adapt and protest. That is one of the messages emerging from Davos. The whiteout is not enough to deter the demonstrators who have built Camp Igloo, proof the movement is here to stay and that it is growing. The core of their protest is claims the World Economic Forum is elitist and undemocratic, with a small minority taking decisions which could have global consequences. Our protest is a message we're sending to people around the world, but also to other Occupy movements, that we have to continue our battle, even if the conditions are tough. The mayor of Davos has authorised the camp in this Switzerland's playground to the elite. The locals so far have been silent on this new breed of tourists, whose ages range from 16 to 70. Some have had quite a trek to make their presence felt. I had to sell some personal possessions to buy my train ticket. I got on my bike, then got here by bus, tram, train, bus again, and then on foot. The igloos have been built in a car park outside the forum's strict security perimeter. The hot topics for discussion by the protesters in Occupy Davos, it would appear, have not been enough to melt the snow, and it's believed their presence has yet to cut any ice with the delegates.
We'll be continuing our in-depth look at the world economy in our next special edition and speaking to one of the superstars of the business world, Nissan Renault CEO Carlos Ghosn. And if you want to see any of our reports again, check out our special online section at euronews.net/Davos.